Get ready for the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to the Splash Live.
Good morning and welcome to the Splash Live. Dave Scott in our West Bloomfield studios for the Splash on this snowy Friday in our area. We'll take a look at the weather in a minute, but first of all, good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us all around our area. This is part of 90 minutes of live television. I'm here to get it all going with the Splash Live. Today, Tyler Keefe will be in at 10 o'clock with the Megacast. It's all local news, information, interviews, and a lot more. This morning right here, Splash Live, very local at 9:30, then Tyler at 10 on the Megacast. Thanks for watching across our entire network of outlets. Of course, the mothership is Channel 15 on Comcast Cable and Channel 99 on AT&T Cable throughout our greater West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake, Eagle Harbor, and Sylvan Lake area. Type in your favorite community when you go to AT&T and you'll find our programming. Much easier, though, just to watch us on the internet in full high definition. You'll find us at civiccentertv.com. And if you like to watch your video live streaming on social media outlets, we're there too. Go to Facebook and look for Civic Center TV 15. Over on YouTube, we're there live also this morning. And you can search for Civic Center TV there on YouTube. And good morning to all of those trying to get around West Bloomfield in the snow in our area this morning across Metro Detroit, much of the state. Thank you for tuning in right here on 89.3 FM, our local radio station, Lakes FM. So let's take a look at our weather around the area. And I've got my sweater on here. It's a little bit cold, 30 degrees right now as we start our day in West Bloomfield and snow falling. Now we're going to get lake effect snow. I'll talk about that more throughout the day. And it's kind of unusual for us here, but bands of snow coming in throughout the day today. 33 degrees is going to be our high. That's it. 20 our low tonight. And then it's not going to really warm up much over the weekend. Same thing for tomorrow. Temperatures only making it to 30 though. And on Sunday, our high will be 27 degrees. This snow is such a big factor here in our area. Let's just talk about it in general. And guys, you can pull the weather forecast off the screen. The snow that's going on right now is a thing called lake effect snow. And we really get a ton of it here in Michigan. In Metro Detroit, we see very little, but in Grand Rapids, they get a lot of lake effect snow. And this time of year, it can be really crazy because you've got the really warm water and then you got the cold air coming over and that picks up all the moisture. The winds blow it and it dumps. Now on a day like today, when it's a little bit windier, some of that lake effect snow is making it all the way across the state. Usually it ends around Lansing. Some of it is actually getting to us right here in the Metro Detroit area. So it is going to be a little slick on our roads, so do be careful. If you're heading up north, great news. In fact, our next guest is from Sheboygan. He can tell us all about lake effect snow. But if you are heading up north, ski areas are going to probably start to open. The big lake effect snow areas from Traverse City up through Petoskey, up by Boyne and Shanty Creek and Crystal Mountain, all the northern Michigan ski areas, they're starting to get snow. And if you're a snowmobiler, you'll be able to head out on the trails this weekend all over the state of Michigan. We are going to get a lot of snow. And talk about snow, we're getting so much snow in our area that the Lions, the Ford Field where the Lions play, is actually going to be hosting the Buffalo football game on Sunday here in Detroit because they say they may get up to 5 or 6 feet of lake effect snow in Buffalo, which is really the king of lake effect snow. So nothing better than snow and Christmas trees. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we're going to find out about the annual Christmas tree sale at Orchard Lake St. Mary right here in our backyard. And we'll be back in just a minute. You're watching the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Hey Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
And now, back to the Splash, live.
Good morning and welcome back to the Splash Live. Dave Scott here on Civic Center TV right here in the heart of West Bloomfield. And one of our most exciting times of the year is when we see the big annual Christmas tree sale at Orchard Lake St. Mary's School. Great fundraiser for them and an amazing way to get a tree. And the guy that's been making it all happen for several years is Dan Tryban from Sheboygan. And I think we got Dan on the line. Dan, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Oh, man, look at that shot. So you bring these trees down from your farm in Sheboygan to Orchard Lake St. Mary. I know you're going to be coming down and setting up, but clearly a beautiful snowy day in Sheboygan, Michigan. Love it.
Yeah, we got a little bit of that lake effect you were talking about 8-9 inches here. We got the last 24 hours.
So let's talk, first of all, about the sale and then Christmas trees in general. And thank you very much for giving us a little bit of time. This sale's been going on. You're harvesting trees right now. I imagine you're very busy, so thanks for taking time for us. You're harvesting trees in Sheboygan right now. You'll put them on a truck, I presume, bring them down to Orchard Lake St. Mary. We have our tree lighting on Sunday, and then as we get into next week, you'll set up. The sale will begin from 9 to 9. Did I get most of that right?
You did. Yeah, we'll be expecting to load semis tomorrow on Saturday, unloading the trees on Sunday. Takes about a day and a half, 2 days to set up, and then we'll be raring to go. We're open 9 to 9 daily, and rain, snow, sleet, all that good stuff. We'll be selling trees.
Well, it looks like you're going to have a little bit of, not quite as much snow as you have on those trees behind you when you get down here, but it is a little wintry down here today, and it's going to be nice Christmas tree weather. So
yeah,
people,
this is a rare year for us, for sure. A lot of snow.
Having all the snow this early, unusual?
At this time of the year, yeah, it's been, I'd have to say, probably about 18 to 20 years since we've had snow on the ground and load out. So it's a little bit more work for us.
So, Dan, it's got to be nice, a Christmas tree farmer, to know that people still love to have a natural tree in their home. Talk about that.
Yeah, that's our hopes. It's a lot of people, it's their family tradition, and we hope that they carry it on, and that's why I continue the legacy of growing the trees like my father and my grandfather before. So it's definitely a family tradition in our family, and it's a special time for people to come out in the lot, bring their kids, all their family, and take the time out of their busy schedule and actually spend time together picking out a tree for such a special occasion.
Well, we're looking at your website. We're looking at your website right now. We're looking at the trees.
Yeah.
How big are the trees that you're going to bring down? Are you bringing down a range of sizes?
Yeah, I try to bring down enough trees to accommodate everybody's size and budget. So we sell several varieties, and we'll bring down some 15 to 16 footers. So
are you
anywhere
kidding
from
me?
2 to 3 foot, all the way up to 15, 16, sometimes 17 to 18. So yeah, we got a size for everybody.
Well, that's nice. I mean, if you got a big open atrium in your home, and we clearly have some big, beautiful homes in West Bloomfield and Orchard Lake, one of those big trees will really look absolutely incredible. What variety of trees are you bringing down?
Yeah, I can go through them real quick. We have Scotch pine, white pine, Black Hill spruce, blue spruce, Fraser fir, and balsam fir, Canaan fir, and we also have a new hybrid that we've been selling. This will be our third year selling it, and it's the frosum. and that is a cross between the Fraser and the balsam. You kind of get the best of both worlds, and that's one of our top sellers.
Well, I was going to say, to me, it's kind of like it's analogous to apples. You know, any apple is really good, but if
Right.
you get me a really good Northern Michigan Honeycrisp, now that's something special. What's the Honeycrisp of Christmas trees?
Well, that would be the Fraser fir, of course.
Okay.
That's the one that's been around the longest, and for what I grow, that I'm capable of growing in northern Michigan, we have a late frost, in the spring, and a lot of those different fir trees, I'm not capable of growing because they'll freeze back. But in our world up here in Sheboygan, the Fraser is the top dog, and again the Folsom. I've been selling a lot of Folsom.
So people, if they're going to come pick up a Christmas tree from you next week at Orchard Lake St. Mary, what do they need? Can they, do we do the old tie it onto the top of the station wagon routine, or how are people getting these trees from you to their home?
Yeah, well, we do tie a lot of trees on top of the roofs of cars and
All
trunks.
right.
Any way we can get them on there. But no, all you have to do is come to the lot, spend some time out there. We'll educate you on the different types of trees as far as needle retention, fragrance, anything you need to know about that tree. We'll take it up to the front area there before we load you out. We'll give you a fresh cut on the tree if it's going to be going in water right away. And then we'll actually tie the tree up for you on your vehicle. So all you have to do is pick out the tree and pay for it. And we'll do everything else for you.
So I'm just curious what the price ranges would be of Christmas trees this year. And, that big 15, 16, 17 footer must be a little bit more than the 2 footer. But,
Yeah,
what does the
yeah.
price range look like?
Yeah, you're gonna have anything from $40 and all the way up to $300. It just depends on your budget and the size of the tree you're looking for and variety, and that's all factored in my pricing. I am the only one that does the pricing on the lot, so it stays consistent for everybody.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think our prices are going to be really going up this year from
Okay.
last. All my costs have, but I want people to afford a tree, to be able to afford a tree. So it's important to me that they do come back and see us, and
Well,
even though everything has gone up.
clearly, Dan, I mean, this is a labor of love for you. You've come down, and I assume you can't do a lot of these sales all over the place. There's only one Christmas, and there's only one Dan. So, is this the only sale you do like this here in the state of
This
Michigan?
is this is the only location we have. We had a prior location at Orchard Lake Road in 10 Mile for several years. We lost that location due to development, so we were very fortunate enough to be able to come up to Orchard Lake Schools and sell trees there. This will be our third season at this location, which will be our 41st year actually selling trees
Wow.
downstate. So we've got some experience doing it. Yeah.
And I assume that the people at Orchard Lake Schools get to generate a little revenue out of this program as well.
They do. They do. Yep, they do. They actually approached me the last season that I was at my last location. So everything worked out perfect for everybody. So yeah, they do, and I do give them a contribution at the end as well um, for allowing us to set up there. It's important to us. So everybody wins. It's a win-win for everybody.
Dan, I'm just dying to see. Are you like where I see some trees that could be Christmas trees? Is there anything you want to show us? I mean, clearly you got a lot of snow on your phone. Anything you can show us?
We do. Yeah. These trees behind me that you're seeing, these are all blue spruce trees. And
Okay.
then a little bit further away are the Fraser firs and Fraser fir that we have by that maple tree behind me. But really hard to tell with all the snow.
Sure.
Thankfully, we wrapped up our harvesting a couple days ago before we got the dump. So yeah, we were very fortunate. But yeah, these are some of our larger blue spruce we have. They go up to 12 to 14 foot in other locations behind me. So
How
they're
long does it
bruisers.
how long does it take to grow a 12-foot spruce?
Yeah, spruce tree, they're going to be a slower growing tree. You're looking at for a blue, you're looking at least 15 to 18 years.
Wow.
So to get a tree of that caliber, starting from seedling. And each
Wow.
tree, Scotch pine trees are a faster growing tree. So we have less time and money invested in them. Thus, they're a more affordable tree on the price tag. So, it's all about time and investment and fertilizer costs and manpower. And that's what generally, will determine the cost of a tree.
Dan, I've spent my whole life in media, behind microphones and cameras. I don't know anything about the real work that you do or the rest of the amazing people of Michigan that work in agriculture. But I always thought that a Christmas tree farmer had to be the smartest guy in agriculture because, you know, I'm not saying what you do is easy in any way. I don't want to have people misinterpret what I'm saying, but it's got to be different. Let me put it that way, and I'd love to hear from you. Doing what you do versus a guy who's planting corn every year.
It is different. It's a long-term investment by far, and it's a lot of labor-intensive work, and we are really reliant on weather up here. I've several years I've planted seedlings, and I've lost every one of them. And it's just you're starting back from scratch the next spring, and try and going for it again, and you hope Mother Nature provides the rain. But yeah, trimming these trees every year, they need to be shaped with machete. Tops need to be trimmed accordingly. You have to apply fertilizer. There's just, then of course there's the pest out there that we have to contend with. And as you know, in today's day and age, it's becoming more and more cumbersome and a problem. You know, they're harder to control because I don't like to use any pesticides if I can help it. But unfortunately, you know, it is what it is. A lot of natural stuff we try to use out here, and but it's a long-term investment, kind of in a nutshell. And you know, we are talking 12 to 15 years for turnaround before you see a profit on something you planted. It's very labor intensive as well. That's the biggest thing. Very labor intensive, and nowadays trying to find people to help out here, it's been tough. It's been a tough season. I was very fortunate to have my nephew to come up to help me with harvest, and some local boys around here helped me out a little bit. So we got it done. We got it done.
All right. Well, great work, and it's nice to have this West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake, and Sheboygan connection that you've established for us. Before we let you go, how long can our Christmas tree continue to be safe in our home? What is the expectation? I mean, some people, the tree's so beautiful, they don't want to take it down right after January 1st rolls around. Do you have any tips for us on safety after they get it in the home?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of part has to do with our education when you're buying the tree. We're going to let you know at the lot how long the tree is expected to do in the home for that variety of tree. And we will tell you that, you know, some trees are good in the house for 2 weeks, and we don't recommend putting it in for any longer than that because you will have needle loss, and you know, potentially, you know, you could have a fire. You know, but everybody's using LED lights now, so that really you know,
That
limits the
helps.
opportunity for a fire. But Fraser fir, Fraser, any of the fir trees, like especially the Fraser or the balsam, you can put that tree up for Thanksgiving and it'll last clear through the new year. I've had people put up a Fraser and they left their tree up until May. I don't recommend that, but that's what I was told from one of my customers. They had it decorated for Valentine's Day, and but regardless, I don't recommend that. I think after first of the year, the Epiphany, that's probably a good time to take it down. But
All
we
right,
will
Dan.
educate you on it.
Well, I know you're so busy. I'm going to let you go. Thank you for all the time this morning. Great to meet you virtually. I'll stop over and say
Yeah,
hello
please
when
do.
you
Please
get
do.
here. You're going to open Tuesday or Wednesday. You're not quite sure, or do you
It's
already?
it, well, it depends on your forecast that you just gave me.
Okay.
Really, if we got a ton of snow to contend with down there, it's going to kind of slow the process down just like it does up here. But we're hoping by Tuesday evening, Wednesday afternoon, we should be up and running for sales. And they can always give me a call, and I'll let them know if sales are open or the gate's open. That means we're open there. Then that gate right off of Orchard Lake Road, just south of Commerce, is the entrance to the tree lot. So if the lights are on, the gate's open, come on in and see us, and we'll get
All
you
right.
taken care of.
All right.
And
Very
if
good.
someone has to have that tree right away, you know, we try to accommodate. So even if we're not all set up yet, we've sold trees right off the truck before. So
I don't anticipate you having to deal with 8 to 10 inches of snow down here. I think we're going to be just fine.
that's good to hear. That's
All
good to
right,
hear.
Dan.
So
Well, I look forward to meeting you in person. Maybe we'll come over and do the show over there one day.
all right, Dave.
That would be fun. It's good to talk to you, and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you very much for all the hard work you're doing for all of us downstate, and good to talk to you on the Splash Live this morning.
All right, Dave. Thanks for your time. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Dan is a
All right.
wonderful
Bye-bye now.
guy. He's been so cool to us. And here's your chance to meet him, get a tree, help Orchard Lake St. Mary. It's all going on, of course, at Commerce at Orchard Lake Road. You know where the Orchard Lake schools are. That's where it is, and a great place if you want to get a natural tree from northern Michigan. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. Take a look at what's going on around our area this weekend next as The Splash Live continues after this.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Watch Civic Center TV with our brand new live captions. To turn on live captions, go to civiccentertv.com and click Watch Live. In your web browser, click on the Options tab in the top right and find the Accessibilities tab. Then just switch on live captions to heighten your enjoyment of our local programming. Thank you so much for watching Civic Center TV. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Oh, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Splash Live. Fun to take a look at all those Christmas trees that are making their way down here. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It's always fun to see the beautiful trees in the big sale at Orchard Lake Schools. Taking a look at some of the other things going on in our area. If you want to learn how to dance better, this weekend, want to take a dance class at Loretta's Dance in Keagle Harbor. You can go to lorettadance.com. I was looking at it online. There you go. And looks like a lot of fun. And, you know, with all the big holiday festivities coming up, you may need to show off your dancing skills. So one fun thing to do this weekend, go to a class at Loretta's Dance. If you're looking for some fun videos to look at online, yesterday in the show we went down Dave Scott's top 5 YouTube videos. We put them all on a page, and they include some of the best videos we've done here over the years at Civic Center TV. I invite you to head off to that page. It's civiccentertv.com top 5, and you'll find our beautiful aerial video that we shot probably 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, and a whole lot more. The Tree Runner Adventure Park video, the West Bloomfield Tornado video, video about Donovan Edwards, our star football player who's now at U of M, and then a video about the new middle school. And there's just so much more. We'll try to put another list together in the next week or so. Music this weekend in our area. Jason Meshk's music is coming, and Jason is a nationally touring children's musician based in Santa Monica, California. Born in New Jersey, raised at a summer camp, Jason has drawn his own experiences as a child to bring a brand new sound and style to the world of family music. He'll be performing at Temple Israel at 10 o'clock on Sunday. And I was checking out some of his clips online. They're really fun and really interesting. So if you got kids, they want to hear some music, don't have to be, again, you know, you can enjoy, regardless of what church or synagogue you go to, you can enjoy all of these things, and maybe a good opportunity to meet some people from another religion and just get to know people in your community a little bit better. So that's going on Sunday at 10 o'clock, and it looks to be a very entertaining performance. One other thing not really happening in West Bloomfield, but it caught my attention, is the Children's Film Festival going on at the Redford Theater in Detroit. And you know, if your kids are looking for something to do fun on Saturday, and you want to introduce them to the cartoons that we watched while we were kids and we were growing up, that's what you'll find. It's at the Redford Theater. It's the Children's Film Festival, classic cartoon celebration, and all the cartoons that we grew up, they'll have them all there, and a good chance for you to share with your children on Saturday a look at the cartoons. I mean, the classic cartoons. The cartoons now, okay. But the cartoons we had when we were kids, absolutely amazing. And a fun outing Saturday Redford Theater in Detroit. Finally, before we go today, I saw something online I thought I would share with you. It's from put together from a radio station up in Flint, but they're very close to Oakland County, and they decided to put together the 10 most dangerous intersections in Oakland County. And we do have some stats and information to back it up. I'll rip you through the list real quick before we say so long today, and then we can open it up for debate. And if you have any thought about it, and maybe we'll come back and address this on another day. But either way, whether these are truly the most dangerous intersections in our area, with the snow on the road today and more of that coming, it's always a good idea just to be careful at every intersection. But these are ones that you might want to take a little extra time. And this list put together by Cars FM, how appropriate, WCRZ up in the Flint area. Number one on the list is Martin Parkway and Pontiac Trail in Commerce Township. It says 140 crashes, 18 injuries, and that is one to be careful of. And it's interesting that is a roundabout, and roundabouts make the list. Now, from what I understand about the roundabouts, and I know a lot of people have opinions about roundabouts, but even though there may be more incidents at roundabouts, they are less severe because you have a lot less T-boning and head-on collisions. You got a little bit more of the scrapey kind of thing. Not good, but usually less injuries. But do be careful. And listen, a lot of people are just not still comfortable driving through roundabouts. Number two, another roundabout, one that they've been working on the last couple of years, Orchard Lake and 14 Mile, 122 crashes over the last year there. Third, Telegraph Road and 12 Mile, just outside of our area, but a lot of you might drive through there. That is just one of those really big, really wide, conventional intersections, but a lot of people turning, a lot of traffic there, and 95 crashes. Number four in Southfield also is Southfield Road and 11 Mile with 91 crashes and 28 injuries. Franklin Road and Square Lake. That is just, if you know that intersection, that's just a weird one because that's Telegraph, and then Franklin Road comes in just east of Telegraph and then Square Lake, and that's really where Square Lake transitions. If you're coming out of West Bloomfield and you're heading over to I-75, it transitions into the business route and becomes a very big, busy road. It's just an odd, unusual intersection. Be careful throughout all of those. Telegraph and Maple, Telegraph and 15, that was a big intersection. When I was a kid, we'd do all of our shopping there. 63 crashes, just another one. Dixie Highway and I-75, so the northern Oakland County intersections are near the bottom of the list, along with 13 Mile and Woodward. 13 and Woodward in Oakland County, that's a busy intersection, but the Woodward intersection seemed to be laid out pretty well. That is a weird one, right? Because that's where Coolidge kind of bends in and crosses at a really odd angle, so that's one to watch out for. I-75 and M59, that's just obviously a big interchange, and then Beck Road and I-96 and Novi. Those are your top 10 intersections where there are crashes, and number 1 and 2 right in our West Bloomfield area, and both of them roundabouts. So be careful as you are out traveling. The kids, obviously, in the morning and in the afternoon going to and from school. And then days like today, we get a little bit of snow on the road. You're busy out with your holiday shopping. And, take time, look around, and just be careful. And especially the roundabouts. Although we don't have a lot of pedestrians in our streets, they're there. So make sure you're extra careful. Take it easy. Maybe we get some of these intersections in our area moved down the list. That's it for me today. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Splash Live. Tyler Keefe will be checking in just a moment, and he will be here with the MegaCast. Have a fantastic weekend. Going to be cold and snowy, but I know you'll enjoy. And we'll see you here bright and early Monday morning on the Splash Live.